What's up, guys? Good morning. We're gonna do this cover art alternate number 6, and it's showing Ivan Helsing, one of the dons of the Hunter Mafia, and from what I could tell, a city with this like fiery monster around it. I got no clue. Let's not commit to any one thing, but I do like this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of this layer. We're just gonna go over it with a kneaded eraser and see what we can make out of this piece. Ooh. It's a dangerous game playing here with the snowboards. Konnichiwa. Ohayo gozaimasu. Konnichiwa. How you doing, sensei? Konbanwa. Konbanwa. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do here. So I'm just gonna lock it in a little bit, kind of feel it out. I love your dynamic drawings. Thank you. Arigato, arigato. Yeah, I like to do a lot of the strange action, a lot of the aura, a lot of movement. See, these are still early. I don't know how to say that. This one's kind of weird. It's kind of a little bit looking character. We don't have to worry about details. We could do details later. The details are just the cherry on top. Hello, good morning, Svakha. How are you doing? Impressive. Thank you. Arigato, arigato. Your work is amazing. It's very technical, very precise. How do you? I need to learn Japanese more. The you sugoi, you sugoi. Right now, we're just locking in the stuff. Let's see what we can do with this character right here. Hey, how you doing, Thapello? We got some buildings over here.
You're so pure and secure, but I'm yours so cold away. You're unsure if I'm not cured, or if I'm just a place to lay. Why don't you smile anymore? Why won't you walk out the door? Not far. Why do you not care?
Oh, you cannot hear me, Thapello? Let me see what I can do about that. You should be able to hear me on Facebook. It should be working. So we're still kind of exploring things, but we do have sort of a direction we're going into. For now, I'm thinking about adding this other character who appears in this specific arc. And we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna put her right here. But I might be clogging it up too much. You know, you kind of have to give different picture elements the appropriate amount of stage presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to give the show to just, unless that's your intention, you don't want to split it too much and have too much clutter. You want to kind of have open composition where you can, so the eyes can rest. So, but we're still exploring. Let's lock in this character a little bit.
Up now, closing out. Right now, your take on the 2020. Blossom first.
kind of use this blunt side. You go like this, it gives it a thick, you cut through all the noise, you know? So it's not a thin line. You're able to establish, change the form. I kind of want him to be buff, like really buff. He's supposed to kind of, I don't know if you ever played Bloody Roar 2. It's this old game where they're fighting and they could turn into like animals. And one of the characters, his presence matches this guy, Gado the lion. And Bloody Roar 2 specifically, because I know they kind of messed his design up later. So he's kind of got to be huge. This guy, he's got to be big. So you see now how we made his neck thicker, and now he's getting bigger. High cheekbones. This guy, he's supposed to come up, not like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's supposed to. Hey, what up, Froggy? By the way, Froggy, can you guys hear me on YouTube and Facebook? Let me know. So this is Ivan Helsing, and Ivan Helsing, like I said earlier in the stream, he is the Don of the Hunter Mafia. And basically, not to give too much away, his power is related to like telekinesis, but like on another level. You know what I'm saying? Like he can throw more than just a skyscraper at you. Let me put it that way. So he's dangerous, and he could tear you apart to like a particle level with just his telekinesis, just in like completely dominating you with that prowess, his telekinetic prowess. So that's a little bit about his power. I mean, I'm not going to say more than that. That's probably too much. But you do get to see him a little bit in action early on in the third arc. See a little hint at his power. But yeah, he's crazy. He's a crazy character in the story. And he's got to be. He's a Don. So give him some crow's feet right here. Now he has these bags under his eyes because he doesn't sleep. He is restless. This character, he doesn't sleep. He's always dealing with whatever affairs he's dealing with. And let's see, let's put his eye like this. I want him to be looking down low. That'd be too confusing. Let's focus on the shape rather than just making it obscure with rendering. Let's see. So let's scroll down. This. Now his eyes. And they're kind of big. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, there we go. A little angled.
I'm not sure if you tried to talk to me, but I didn't hear anything there. I'm just gonna move on for now. Right now, skater vibes, starting with work.
Nah, it's gotta get worked on later. Let's go. Thick eyebrows. And he's got this huge scar the side of his face. Thank you, Anna Chat. Hello, can you hear me by the way, Anna Chat? Yeah, and he sort of has this, almost like he's judging you, seeing your value, seeing your worth, if you're worthy. Let's see. This is a vicious character right here. Ivan Helsing. Very pronounced cheekbones. You want to give your characters a variety of facial structures. You know what I'm saying? When you see something and like a cartoon, anime, a manga, a comic, whatever you want to call it, you see characters and they have like the same face, sort of like what's happening with Final Fantasy VII and the games that are sort of similar to that. They have the same face in every thing. Maybe one or two characters are different, but it's like mostly same face for females, same face for males. And that's just lazy. You know what I'm saying? You cannot just change the hairstyle. There has to be structural differences in the people's face. That's why One Piece, he does a really good job, you know, Oda Sensei. He's able to give you such a variety in styles, the unique character features, and sometimes they're really out there and goofy looking, and you know, but he makes it work, you know. So don't be afraid to try making a face that at first might be perceived as, oh, that's ugly, it's not beautiful enough, right? Like this whole mindset, especially as beginner artists, we kind of think only certain faces are worth drawing. In reality is there's so much uniqueness and so much character you can get out of old, young, and very different cultures, different faces, and you can play with that. Especially when you look at celebrities, you know, like I don't know who's a notorious celebrity that I can think of. I don't know, like Jack Nicholson, right? Like he's got these big eyebrows. Big eyebrows is like really high. That's actually what I based Matsuo, one of my characters, on. I used the eyebrows that he has, Jack Nicholson. It's a really distinguished feature in him, and you know, you can use those things to really pop out and bring out your characters to give them a unique feature, you know. Okay, let's see. I wouldn't have to worry about details right now, but I just want to put this in. So let's see, kind of want to work our way down here. So he's holding something. What's he holding in his hand? I have no clue. He might be using that telekinesis power. Maybe he's holding a skull. Is that too edgy? Might be. Let's see. You know, just kind of put these structural, you know, marks in there, kind of give you some, you know, area to kind of figure it out. Use it as a launching point. Now, where's his thumb at? His thumb is over here. Okay. So try to always draw through it. Try to understand the structure, not just have it for show, you know? You're the only one here that doesn't. It's all good. Welcome, bro. Thanks for hanging out, man. I'm only gonna be here for another 30 minutes, so it's gonna be a short live. Right now, I'm thinking, okay, well, what is he? Does he have a watch? Yeah, he's gonna have a blinged out watch, a really expensive watch, probably. But I'm not gonna get into the detailing of that. I'm just gonna put the mark, the structural marking of it. His shoulder, the folds. Yeah. Okay, so we got him. So we're not gonna see this part of him because this is gonna be covered up by the city that's got this huge fiery monster around it. I don't know about this. What is he gonna do with this? Yeah, this isn't okay. We're gonna fix this one. I wish I understood more words. Oh yeah, I wish I can speak Japanese. I'm learning every day. I'm practicing, but it's hard, especially kanji. Oh my god, kanji is scary. I gotta learn. Let's see here. Let's see if we could do something different than this. So we got his shoulders. I like the presence that we're getting from up here. But what do we want to say with down here? I think what we could do. Let's see here. Let me try to find the action. We'll go like this. I don't think he's got like his hands like this over the city. Now I think we can go. Let's see. We could be drinking some wine. No. We're not gonna make him drink wine. Maybe he's holding the moon in his hand. Ah, okay. Interesting. Okay, so but then I would have to lift his shoulder up, so it'd go like this. And we're gonna kind of get out the page if we do this one. Let's see. Does that flow right? Does it feel tight and stiff? It could work. It could work. Or you know what if he's got like a big ass axe or something? So when you're drawing, you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty detail, right? You see where I have my hand right here where I'm like, eh. You kind of want to be loose and looking. Right now we're still finding, searching the image. When we get to maybe something like, let's say this one, we've kind of did enough searching, right? We know what we're gonna do. Now it's about erasing and then using the nib to lock it in, right? Using the ink to lock it in. But before that, we gotta kind of keep it loose for a while and be open to exploration. At least this is how I like to approach my cover arts. I don't like thumbnails. Too much thinking for me just is bad, you know? When I overthink things, you end up not getting anything done. So it's best to jump in, figure it out as you're swimming, you know? Or I guess learn how to swim as you are in the pool, drowning and struggling. And you'll figure it out. That's the beauty of it. You just gotta learn to trust the process. That you will find what it is you're looking for, if you don't quite know what it is just yet. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And a lot of times I'm not erasing because it's a mistake, right? I'm erasing because now I have a layer to underneath the underdrawing. This, and I could clean up the lines a little more, lock it in a little more, layer by layer. It's really easy. It's really easy. And as you keep going, it gets clearer and clearer and easier and easier. It doesn't get harder. The hardest part is just figuring out the underlying structure and the storytelling, the emotion. After you got that, it's pretty much just layering on clean line work. Do you have finished art ideas before starting? Yeah, so Ken, I actually don't like doing thumbnails. I used to do thumbnails, but honestly, it takes out a lot of the joy. And sometimes the thumbnail looks cooler than the finished drawing, and that pisses me off. So I actually just jump right in. But you know, they teach you to do thumbnails. You know, I get it if you're doing like a mural or a painting or something, you kind of want to figure it out. But for me, I just like to go in when it comes to these pencil and ink colored cover arts that we're gonna do. We have like all the tools in the world to not make mistakes, right? We got the digital Control Z, you know, you could use the thumbnails and really kind of figure out what you're drawing. So I'm like, you know what? I wanna figure it out while I'm drawing it. How about that? How about that? And the beauty of that is you don't know. It's a surprise. And I think for me, it creates better art for me. When it's too overthought, when it's like, yeah, I'm super intentional about this, you kind of lose a little bit of that unconscious element to your piece, and it becomes very like stiff or in concept and in overall just delivery. So there's something about this like room for error that forces you to adapt, forces you to work with perceived mistakes. And for example, in the beginning, he wasn't holding nothing. He was just like, he had his arm out like this and he was gonna crush something, I don't know. Now he's got a freaking battle axe. You know what I'm saying? I would say that's an unexpected improvement. Especially because he's like a hunter. He's the leader of the Hunter Mafia, right? He's the Don of the Hunter Mafia. The Helsing family. Ivan Helsing. There. And so they're kind of known for axes and crossbows. And so now I'm playing with a whole new set of ideas that if I came in methodical and, you know, thumbnailing it, overthinking it, I might not have even thought of, you know? Free form sketching. Yeah, I guess so. Free form. It's more like I keep erasing with this neat eraser, and I make pivots and changes as I go. So it's not just one sketch, right? I'm layering. Okay, there we go. Maybe in the shine of this thing, there could be a face of another character. Do Senbai actually here, because he does meet him in the story. So guys, I'm drawing a lot of demons right now too. Oh yeah, you're drawing a lot of yokai. Wow. Yeah, I see the art you're doing is outstanding. Seriously. By the way, Ken, you should check out Atsuki Sensei. He does manga professionally, and he's like been doing it for like 20-30 years. So check him out, man. He's in the comment section above you in TikTok. Okay, what do we want to do with this other hand? Now, hands are very expressive. You kind of want to use them. Don't let a hand just go to waste. If it's, in this case, maybe I could get away with just having it, you know, recede and disappear underneath this other picture element of this like city. But there's so much opportunity for storytelling here, right? So I think what we can do is actually have them holding, maybe in this hand he's holding the, maybe he's holding a head of his enemy that he just freaking killed right now. Could be even a skull. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Safa. So if he's holding a head, let's say he's holding it by the hair. I mean, damn, he's gonna be drawing like a demon's head or something. He's gonna be holding it like this, but is this his right hand? We're seeing it. It would look like this. Okay. Now this hand is huge. If you were to put that to his face, would it cover his face? Would it be bigger than his face? That might be the case. That might be the case. I might have to shrink his hand because it doesn't make sense if it's like that, you know. Unless we want that for a story reason. Let's shrink his hand a little bit. A little bit. Okay. So I would say this is like this. This is kind of smaller. So we got to make sure that we're not get a little bigger. I'm just doing some really crude mark making just to use as sort of the clay that we're gonna shape, right? With erasing and adding and fixing and refining each layer. Okay. So he's probably got the head of a dragon that he's holding. I don't know. I'm gonna see what it is. I don't want to settle just yet, but I know he is holding a head. I do like the idea. Okay, just put a circle right here for now. Figure that out later. So he's got a shoulder here. His elbow would be back here, so we don't need to see all this part of the forearm. I'm gonna have to erase this chunk right here. Somewhere in that range. It's sort of like you're casting a net, right? You cast a net on the area that you could instinctually sense, like, okay, this is where it would logically make more sense, right? That, okay, the shoulder's here, the elbow's gonna probably be right here, you know, so then that would recede that over here, so the elbow point right here would be like that. Okay, so it's something like this, right? And then I erase, oh, yeah, that makes no sense. All right, and you clean it up. Just keep going in that fashion, and you gradually generate these layers, and you start to get a more and more refined drawing at the end of it. It's really easy. It's really easy. It gets easier as you go. The only hard part is starting this style of doing it, I guess you'd say. Everybody's different, right? Some people they want to thumbnail, and that's okay. Do your thumbnail, figure that out. You gotta make sure drawing through the object. So this will be way back here. So he's holding a head. Now, whose head is he holding? It's probably gonna be the demon mafia's head, so the Akanami mafia. So in the story, there's 4 main fairy tale mafias. One of them is the demon mafia, and these guys are sort of like Yakuza type. They're called the Akanami family. And demons in the story, because of their ancient king Gilgamesh, what he did, screwing over everybody else, and essentially abandoning his own people because they were too weak in his eyes. He sort of left them to fend for themselves and have to deal with all that hatred that they have towards his king and towards them as a people. And so the demon king Gilgamesh, after abandoning them, they essentially were hunted, and demons were hunted, even though they're really strong physically, and they were hunted down by all these other fairy tales and the humans, etc. And what happened was that the only way, because they were targeted, they were called Akanamis, which is like saying you're a shit-eating demon, right? That's what an Akanami is. It's a type of yokai. And it's an insult. It was like to insult them. It was derogatory. But eventually that name became something they feared, right? Because they used that focused hatred towards them, and they came together and they formed the Akanami family. And they became a feared demon mafia that they're very, very vicious, and they essentially stopped getting picked on and picked off by all these different groups, right? So there's a long history with that, and he has some beef with the Akanami mafia. He has some beef with them, so I could see something with him holding that, they have the face of Akanami as their sigil. So I'm gonna have to figure out how that looks like exactly. Might look at references. I have to play with it a little more. We'll figure out the structure later. Right now, let's go to this thing. So Akanami. Let's see. How long you been doing this style? How long you been doing this style? It's something that just kind of progressed naturally. You know what I'm saying? You're not forcing or like trying to intentionally create a style. It's sort of like what you're instinctually drawn to, because you gotta kind of learn what you can get from teachers and online resources. Essentially art school, and you got to learn what they got for you, and then you got to kind of see how your instincts can optimally use that information in its own way. That way you're able to be completely released, right, and unleashed in your way. So for me, that meant thumbnails don't mesh with me and my personality. I've done them too long to know. And that for these things, maybe other things I can use thumbnails, but for these kinds of things, I like to figure it out on the page, right? And use this kneaded eraser layering style. Instead of having everything all figured out before a single line is drawn, I like to figure it out with the lines. This is my thinking tool. And this very tip of the pencil, that's where my mind's eye is. So the sensation I get is I'm like feeling around in a dark room looking for the light switch, right? Or I'm looking at the clouds and how they're all chaotic and I'm trying to make an image out of it. So it's this sensation of you don't know, but you are curious as to what you could pull out, what you could find, and illuminate, right? Because illustration means to illuminate. It's what people cannot see. You illustrate, illumine, straight, demonstrate. So, it's a natural, for me, it comes much more naturally to do it this way. Thank you, Ken. For me, it's freedom and authenticity is the most important thing. And how you get there is through chaos and finding from that chaos what appeals to your instincts, what appeals to your temperament. You're naturally drawn to certain shapes opposed to other shapes for certain pieces. And in this case, with this kind of dark, brooding kind of figure right here, I think these kinds of shapes, they kind of emulate and help emphasize that. So it's just like I can break it down for you just because I've been doing it for a while, but it's very much in the flow. You're in the flow of it. You're not, I need to put this for this particular reason because it has this meaning. It just sort of clicks as you go. Click, 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 click. And what's a better way to do it than that? You know what I'm saying? For me, that is the most fun part because I get to discover and explore like what could be. And I didn't expect this axe. I didn't expect this guy to be holding a demon head, right, from the Akanami Mafia. That makes sense. So it's connected. So process is a really important part of committing to a path. If you can fall in love with that process, then shoot, that is 99% of the battle, bro. The other percent is showing up. The rest is it'll take care of itself. Okay, we have about 7 minutes. Let's say we put in some time. We're not trying to force it. We're not trying to just pump out this piece, right? We want to do it justice. We want to reach some kind of finish line though. So we don't have to have the whole pencil done. I'll probably do another layer, but let me see here. I do like the idea of some like fiery, shadowy kind of claw-like figure. Maybe we give him 6 fingers actually. 6 fingers, 6 fingers, 6 fingers, 7 fingers over here. Oh, okay, interesting. So we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To kind of hint at certain figures in the story. Because this is supposed to be like some kind of apparition, like flame that's over this city. And in the story, this particular city, it's called Newborn City. There's a lot of changes that happen in this city, and that's very consequential to the rest of the story world. It's not necessarily the center, but spiritually, symbolically, Newborn City in the story, it is a sort of narrative tool for me to show you great changes of the new era, the new world, the new setting, the new changes, right, to the situation in the story world. When it comes to humans and fairy tales, disclosure, etc. Okay, we got one more. Thank you, but this one. All right, for the last 5 minutes, I think we'll just hang out together. I'll show you some of the stuff we've been working on. So here's some other pencil cover arts we're still in process of. This one probably is ready to be inked. This one's for sure needs some more development, but I like where it's going. And we got this one. This one's getting clearer. It's very interesting. It's different. I actually like it a lot. But we got to add these details. So this one's still not done, but this one's about to be ready to be inked. And then let's see what else we got here. I'll show you some of the recent stuff we did. The plot of story. The plot of the story is sort of like Men in Black, except instead of aliens, you have fairy tales who are pretending to be human, and they want to live amongst humans, basically, for their own reasons. And you have this secret government called the Cloud, whose main job is to keep humanity asleep to the truly magical world that they live in. There's a lot more to it, right? But this story has more than just disclosure elements where humanity wakes up to the truth and stuff like this. There's a lot more to it, but I can't get into all of it, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I'd rather show you, right? So this is actually a character in the story. His name is Jack Gumshoe, and he's this kind of like Hercule, goofy detective, but he's got a heart of truth. You know what I'm saying? He will risk his life for people who don't know what's going on, because he wants to get to the bottom of it, and he wants to make sure things are fair and right. You got this character, who's another character in the story. He's like the CIA guy, the chief of Cloud Zero, right? And he's a zombie, actually, but he's not like a brainless zombie. He's actually a genius war strategist who was brought back from the dead and all this stuff. Anyways, these are like some of the cover arts to tell you a little bit about what's going on in their own stories. And then you got Ranji. This is Ranji. He is the president of the Cloud. We call him the Cloud Father, and he's essentially the father of the new world. He watches over it. There's an old world that's boundless and forbidden for anybody to go to unless you're gold class and up and have the right permissions. But essentially, he has to deal with these snakes that are wrapping around this artificial new world in the story. This right here. Here we got some other characters. The main character is Soccer. We got Gorgon Masochist. He's like this gargoyle pimp who traffics humans and fairy tale hybrids, into the mafias, into the druid market, which is like the black market in the story. And he just makes a lot of money. He's like the Epstein of the story. And you got Zoe, who's a herald. There's a lot of interesting entities and beings in the story. It's not just like fairy tale races, right? So there's a legend about heralds that if you were to pluck one of their feathers, that your deepest desire will come true. And gargoyles, they have a curse that when they die, they don't just die like you and me. They actually get trapped into stone, and their ego dissolves. They stop essentially having a sense of self. They just become a statue permanently. And this hedonist Gorgon Masochist right here, that's the last thing he wants, right? He wants to live forever. And so he plucks her wing, constantly plucking her wing, taking feather to the point of its bones. Because of his insecurity, he's not sure if it worked or not. He can never really know, right? He's always afraid of death. And so he's living in this way where it's extremely selfish and, in a way, masochistic. And yeah, this is the one we're working on. This is Ivan Helsing, like I said earlier. All right, and we're going to look at some double spreads. So this is the Newborn City arc. So you get this seriousness, but you also get this goofiness in this story, right? You got like, I like the cartooniness that you get from like Looney Tunes, and I like to use that, or Flapjack or SpongeBob, you know, where they give you like a scene where it's like funny and it's like a grotesque look where it's uber detailed, you know, and there's like a close up on their face or something. I like to play around with that, as well as that Looney Tunes style too. So, you know, you have moments where, you know, it's funny, but then like I showed you earlier, where it's like really dark. Talking about like fucking Gargoyle Epstein over there. And then you got, this was like a holiday special I did. Story's called Demon Nation. So this was like a Whoville style called Who Nation. My friend did the lettering, logo. He did all the lettering for me. He's fucking dope. Check him out. Snotter is his name. Here's a second arc. It's called the Big D arc. As goofy as it sounds, this guy basically, that's his rapper name. He calls himself Big D. He's a royal prince of the demon mafia. He's one of the princes. And he forces his grunts to listen to his music. And if they don't like it, if anybody doesn't like it, he just shoots them point blank. So he's kind of a bit of a egotist. But his real threat is this guy, Drago, his royal guard. He's this vicious dragon. I mean, vampire / demon character. He has a very unique situation with his bloodline, but he essentially he can get powers through consumption of blood. That's his calling. Then you got the third arc, which is the Helena Siren arc. And this one's pretty dope too, but I won't get too into it. Essentially, she's a siren pop star, and there's fairy tale terrorists who don't like what she represents, which is a future of humans and fairy tales living openly together. So there's a lot of stuff. Alrighty guys, I think we're done here. I gotta go to do some page work. We got a little update in today. A little bit of update. We're gonna keep doing these covers. I'm gonna try to come again at 12 Pacific Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I don't, I'm sorry. It's just like there's so many pages I have to work on, and as much as I do like doing these lives and showing you guys the work and talking to y'all, this is not like the top priority, right? Top priority is let's get the pages done.